Hallows, and this is Preserve Halloween Podcast. So, I don't know if you've heard the rumor or not, but apparently McDonald's is bringing back the pumpkin pails. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I figured I would at least, record something quick about it. I saw it on a website, and I'll tell you right now, I don't remember. If you listen to the last podcast I recorded, I am currently driving down the highway from Louisiana back to where I live, and I decided to record a bunch of podcasts, just stuff off the top of my head. I don't have any research. I don't have any notes. I'm literally just driving down the road, enjoying my trip. It's a good 5 hours of kind of just thoughts and things. Some of it I remember, some of it I don't. So I figured, why not record a few podcasts and get a couple in the backlog. I'll probably release them all at the same time. But in theory, why not have a few in the backlog? That way, if I can't record one for a few weeks, I've given you, two or three at once. Anyway, I was online, just kind of like anyone else, just looking around, seeing if there's anything interesting. And I saw this post about, I saw the old McDonald's pumpkin pails, which I love. If you've ever listened to any of my old podcasts or just talked to me in general, I love the pumpkin pails. I have a full set of the originals. I have a full set of, I think, everything up until the witch. After the witch, I didn't really care for the pails anymore. I didn't like the pails that were tied into movies or, things like that. So I like the old school stuff. Anyway, this article, which I will link in the notes for the podcast, because I want to give this website credit, because for everything I read, they were the first ones to, report it. So they should get the credit for breaking the news, basically. I know a lot of other places picked up the information and didn't attribute it to this website, which wasn't fair. I think they must know somebody that works at McDonald's or has some ties to it, because they had an actual calendar, a corporate calendar, that showed on October 18th that they were going to release pumpkin pails in some capacity, I don't know what, to the public for roughly a week. I guess from the 18th till Halloween. So I guess over a week. But that's still, pretty exciting news for a lot of us of a certain age, because we grew up remembering these pumpkin pails with great love and compassion and feelings that, nostalgia that it brought us, for a pail made out of plastic that who knows how much it costs, but we loved them. We still love them. They are getting more increasingly hard to find in any kind of decent shape. I have a few that the pails handles have broken off. The hardest part about the pumpkin pails is they're all marked for the most part with the same year, so it's hard to tell when they were manufactured. A lot of this stuff, like I constantly say when I record a podcast, most of this stuff was not intended to keep, so it wasn't made to last, even though indirectly they last better than things made now, because the plastic was better and they were thicker, and everything about the construction, even though it was supposed to be one of those things you buy and throw away or whatever, they last. Like the old pumpkin pails, they're super thick. The new ones are basically paper thin. This is the same situation. I hope, if the rumor is true, because at this point I kind of believe it. I'm just waiting to get something official from McDonald's. I reached out to them, to their PR people, and to a couple of the contacts that I have, emails for, which I've researched and tried to get some information about pumpkin pails in the past when I was researching for my podcast on them, and I never really got any answers. I know the guy who has the history with them. I know the guy's name who kind of, I guess, came up with the idea, but I never have been able to talk to him, which would be wonderful. I would love to talk to him. I've talked to the guy who, designed the 12-foot skeleton we all love or hate because we can't get one. But I finally got one, so I don't hate it anymore. I never really hated it, but it was one of those elusive things. Like, it came to the point where it was just like a myth that I would never get it. But now I have one, and it's awesome, and I hope everyone gets one if they want one. But this rumor about the pumpkin pails, it spread over social media very quickly. And like I said, um, it wasn't always attributed correctly, but the information got around really fast. And no one could confirm it. I had a few people ask me if it was true. I don't know. I don't work at McDonald's. I wish I could definitively say it, but until there's some form of official press release, which I also looked up on McDonald's corporate page, there's no press release about it yet. Let me take a drink because of my throat. I've recorded 3 podcasts so far, and that drink is nasty. So I will try again. I guess I'll need to stop and get something. Anyway, that little splash of gross drink helped my throat just enough so it doesn't hurt anymore. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't want to know that. But back to the pumpkin pails. There has been wonderful articles written about the history of the pails. There have been artists and photographers who have attributed and focused much of their time on just taking pictures of the pails in various Halloween settings or various just settings in general, which is awesome. But my big question is if they are bringing the pails back, which I really think they probably are. And the reason I think that is I think of things in anniversaries. The original pails were 1986, and it's 2022. So it's been long enough. It's not really an anniversary because it's not. Well, I mean, maybe widespread it's an anniversary because I guess the first year they hadn't really taken off yet. But I don't know. Whatever the reason for McDonald's deciding to bring back the pumpkin pails, I don't care. I just want to know if they're gonna like make a big deal out of it, or if they're gonna take it seriously, or are they gonna? Is it like a one-off? Are they planning on doing this every year? Is it gonna be tied to a movie? I really hope that they bring back the original, the 3. Probably, I could, if I had to guess, I would imagine they're gonna bring back one of the forms of the pumpkin, either, you know, McGoblin or McPunky or McBoo or whatever. I don't think one of those is a pumpkin. Anyway, one of the forms of the pumpkin I think is a lock. Like, it's going to be one of those. I hope it's McGoblin because I like the face. But I think it's going to be one of the pumpkins, the witch, and the ghost because that's the trio that most people associate with the McDonald's Happy Meal pails, even though that's not the original. But that's fine. That's a good mixture. You're kind of covering all your bases with a ghost and a witch and a pumpkin. So that's my bet on some form of updated version of that. I think someone did post, and I think it was the same person that broke the story. Someone did post an image of what they're supposed to look like. And I mean, they look the same in some ways as the originals, but the lids were different, which, as long as it doesn't look super weird, the lid doesn't really matter to me. It needs to be uniform and it needs to look like it belongs. But as far as the shape or whatever, as long as it looks like I hope if it's a witch, the witch has a hat. I hope that if it's a ghost, the ghost, maybe has a pointed lid or something to make his head, have that classic ghost point. And then the pumpkin should have a lid that looks like a stem. like a pumpkin. Uh, that's what I wish for. But my big question is, if they are doing, not my, I guess I have lots of big questions because I keep saying that. But another big question I have, that's more accurate. Another big question I have is, who's making these? Um, as far as I know, the originals were manufactured in China, probably very cheaply, and sent over to the U.S. and distributed here. I don't believe that the pumpkin pails were in any other country when they originally came out because there wasn't really any other McDonald's anywhere. Now they're in all kinds of countries all over the world. So will they get their own version of pumpkins or pumpkin pails? Wouldn't it be cool if like Japan got yokai pumpkin pails? Or maybe they tie the pumpkin pails into the beliefs and legends of that particular country. That would be cool to me. Uh, I'd love to see La Befana or you know some really cool things that uh, are associated with that particular part of the world, which they probably won't do. But I can dream. I never imagined that I would be talking about McDonald's bringing back the pumpkin pail, and like I said, I don't know if this is absolutely 100% true, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty. If it's not true, somebody's doing a really good job of faking a lot of calendars and documents and things like that. But the skeptic in me and the skeptic in a lot of people says, well, they bring this up every year. Why would they all of a sudden decide to do this? And I can give you one huge reason. Other people are making money off the old designs, and I'm sure they've picked up on that. If you go to any kind of convention or any kind of, Etsy or any place that sells Halloween related merchandise, somebody makes some version of a pumpkin pail design or a pumpkin pail sticker, or, I've seen 3D printed pumpkin pail jewelry. I think, honestly, that's probably the catalyst. If they are going to do their, like, bring it back, it's because they don't want other people making money off their product. And what bothers me and what I hope doesn't happen is that they decide to bring it back, and then all these people and artists that I know that I've bought stuff from that made pumpkin pail designs start getting cease and desist letters, or kind of what Disney does with fan art and kind of cracking down on the unauthorized use of their property. Because I mean, as far as I know, McDonald's still owns the rights to the pumpkin pail designs and the pumpkin pail overall. I don't think they would have released that. And if they did, that would have been stupid. And I don't think that doesn't sound to me like something a probably billion-dollar corporation would decide. They would keep the rights to it, and even if they don't use it, that's probably why they haven't cared to this point. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't want to worry all the artists and people that make this stuff. I have no idea. This is all speculation. Uh, I have no inside information. I'm literally just going off things I've read on the internet and kind of discussing it openly for the first time because I have time to do it. I would love to know an official answer. I wish I would get an answer from their PR department or the marketing or whoever. I contacted a few people. I don't know how many. I think 5 or 6. But I would love to get an answer from one of them and say, yes, it's definitely happening. Here's the promotional material we're planning on using. Please share it. That would be wonderful for me because I would love to let people know about uh, these pails coming back and make it official. That would be great. But, do I expect that? No, not at all. I'll find out just like everyone else whenever they decide to let people know. Or I'll find out when I go to McDonald's on the 18th and try to buy a Happy Meal and just see how it goes like everyone else. I don't I hope it doesn't affect. I hope people don't like try to go to McDonald's and buy all these out, or try to get a bunch, and then next thing you know, they're on eBay. I really hope that doesn't happen, because things like that kind of ruin any kind of collecting and nostalgia. Uh, Hopefully, I'll remember to edit out those costs, but if not, I'm sorry. Um, I hope that uh, I hope that they have enough. I hope they understand the demand, and that's really what I hope is the reason for them bringing these back. Is because they see the demand and the love that people have for these simple pails. I hope it's as simple as that. You know, I know there's a lot of people who've been writing, including myself, to McDonald's to try to get them to bring the pails back. I'm hoping that's the catalyst. I hope that's the reason why they decided to do it. I don't know if it is, but it would be wonderful if it was because we love those pails so much they decided to do it. That would be a wonderful story. I really hope that's it. But I don't know if that's the thing. So we'll see. Um, we have about a month from today of me recording this that we'll find out, because I'm sure a huge portion of us will be driving to our local McDonald's to try to buy pumpkin pails, and I'm sure a lot of us will be asking before then if it's going to happen. So we'll see. But until then, preserve Halloween.